Warning, this video is not targeted to kids and may be inappropriate to younger audiences. Your discretion is advised. Hello, dudes and dudettes. It's your favorite Region Gamer Mix 17 here, and I am back once again for another Subnautica Let's Explore. Obviously by the title, we are going to be checking out the Inactive Lava Zone. And also the lava lakes. I mean, technically they're both two very different biomes, but they're both short enough and they're practically the same-ish. I'm just going to tie them both together. So, first of all, the Inactive Lava Zone. The Inactive Lava Zone actually has two entrances, one of which I typically commonly use because of its safer route, which is right next to, of course, the Lost River, specifically the blue area of the Lost River, or the blue mist? I don't know, but basically where the ghost rays are commonly found. This is actually the route that I used in order to get into the Inactive Lava Zone from my playthrough. So what does the Inactive Lava Zone have? Well, obviously it is a lava zone, and the depth of said area is a whole lot more interesting because the fact that it starts at technically 900 meters, which is a whole lot higher than here. But that's a whole different story, and drops all the way down to 1,300 or 1,300 meters. This biome has shale outcrops, and obviously the lava castle. Now, I, of course, have taken the route of this thing several times, and it's a very simple one pathway that you cannot get lost. And that's pretty much about it when it comes to this pathway. I'll show you the second entrance. Keep in mind though that this biome is, of course, highly dangerous in the sense that its temperature runs quite deep. I say that it's not easy to get lost in, and yet I think I accidentally turned myself around. I think I really did. Anywho, like I was saying, other than that though, it also contains an alien structure. Which alien structure specifically? Well, it obtains the alien thermal plant. I think I actually got myself turned around. Yeah, I think I got it turned all the way back around. This biome is also home to a large leviathan, specifically the sea dragon leviathan. So that's a very, very dangerous leviathan that you do not want to come across. Other than that though, what other hostile creatures will you come across? Well, you'll also come across the lava lizard, if I'm not mistaken that's what it's called. We'll come across them regardless. And of course the lava-based forms of several creatures that we've seen beforehand, such as the boomerang fish, the rays, there's also another fish, I just can't remember what it is called as of this moment. And of course we'll come across these pesky little things, the lava leeches, which when on your vehicle, it will suck out the energy from your vehicle, hindering it not having any form of energy to run. The inactive lava biome has, of course, a temperature, if you paid attention, of 50 Celsius. 50 degrees Celsius. There we go. I don't know why I was going blink-minded there. So, yeah. The second entrance is actually an entrance that we passed by in the previous episode of exploring the Lost River. Specifically, that one very long pathway through the thing, whatever this place is called, Lost River. And this is in fact I'm just showing a whole lot more of the Lost River. I thinking about cutting and coming back to when I'm over there. Alright, and as we draw near to the second entrance to the inactive lava zone, obviously, as you can clearly tell, it is not exactly the most safest to go to, because it has a ghost leviathan. And it is this terrifying sinkhole that just goes straight down. I'm gonna get hit in a second, aren't I? I feel like I need the thing to load. So, just to explain a bit more, obviously the inactive lava zone obviously has lava, and if you try to touch it, it's gonna kill you. And on top of that, it will also deal damage to your vehicles if it happens to touch the lava. It's also the same thing with the prawn suit. Is this thing still coming after me? Oh, and of course I forgot to mention, but this is also the place where you find kyanites and of course all the other resources. Just about every single resource that you could possibly ever need. Did that thing really like chase after me? For a good while? I think it did. And it will have, this pathway of course will have its own tunnel little thing right there, or right through here. Oh look at that, Karar. And there is our friendly Leviathan. Not. And of course there is the lava castle that I previously mentioned as well. Now, the inactive lava zone of course has its own little structures here and there, and of course all of its weird tall pillars of its own land formation that it somehow managed to create. There's also this little tunnel off to the side that it kind of dips into a bit. I just don't know exactly where it is all too well. I shouldn't be getting attacked. Well, regardless. The other thing as well is that this biome also likes to dip into the ground and have its own little cave system a bit. Something similar to this, but there's actually a bigger one. And I'm not talking about the pathway to the lava lakes. I'm talking about an actual little sinkhole that the ground ends up digging down into. I believe this is the second pathway that leads into the lava lakes. So I will continue on going forward this direction. This little sinkhole, as I'm calling it right now, is somewhere around this direction, I believe. And I remember when I first came across it, it kind of spooked me for a bit, because I thought I was going to come across another Leviathan, but no, this is just it. I think I actually briefly showed this in my survival Let's Plays. So, yeah. And that's pretty much about it when it comes to this part of the biome. Now then, the lava castle has two entrances into it. Yeah. What could possibly be inside? Well, of course, as I've mentioned prior, we've technically already explored this during the playthrough by traversing through this crazy tunnel system. You end up getting to a specific point that leads into the center of the whole thing, or the heart of Subnautica even, that being the alien thermal plant. Yeah, this thing's a thing. And it still runs as well, and you could obviously go inside of it and experience everything there is to it. That of course being, sadly I don't have my prawn suit and I can't bring the sea moth in. Our friendly little drones, some more lore based items that you're going to end up needing to bring tablets, a chunk of ion cubes, which again the prawn suit will come in handy. The lower areas, I think I went too far ahead of myself. will end up leading all the way to the thermal plant itself, where you end up getting the information to make yourself ion batteries and ion power cells. Especially just anything when it comes to ion energy, which is incredibly useful in the end game. When going up, actually, when going over here, it's a teleportation device that will teleport you to the surface, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it teleports you to the surface, or specifically one of the islands. I think the stationary island, and that's pretty much about it. It's the only inactive teleporter on the actual island itself that you are not able to interact with. Oh man, these allergies are a pain. Anywho.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
That is, of course, the entirety of that little place there. The next place, or the next thing that I need to go into, is, of course, to exit out the heart of Subnautica and go into the lava lakes. So, the lava lakes also has another 2 entrances. One of them I find very easy to obtain, of course. The other one is not so easy. I just went into a complete circle. It's not so much of an easy one that I've ever been able to find. However, since of course I have a map open up, I can now actually find it. Did I just hit something? Oh, no, something hit me. Anywho, so like I was saying, the specific one that I typically go through is on a not a crevice, but an opening on the seafloor right next to the lava castle. Specifically, it should be closer to one of the 2 entrances, which might be the other one, sadly. And this is the pathway that I took, of course, during my survival series. And it is probably all the way on the other side. And look, there's our friendly Leviathan once again. Ah, here it is. This is the entrance that I took, and it just goes straight down and into the lava lakes biome. Which, if you pay attention to the depth, the thermal or the thermometer measurement on my little HUD there, it will show you that it's a little more hotter here in the lava lakes, and it leads straight into the power plant. Wait a minute, hold on. Yes, I was just thrown off for a second because I thought I went into the second one. Hello there.
I am what you seek. Want to help you.
As I see the Sea Dragon Leviathan right behind. But again, I shouldn't be harmed due to the fact that they remove the capability of the Sea Dragon Leviathan even being able to interact with this sea moth. So yeah, this, of course, as I mentioned, is the lava lakes, which contains the primary containment facility. And of course, the second entrance is just over there. I just wanted to show, well, a little bit more of here as well. Or maybe I'm wrong and the entrance is actually over here. And if that's the case, well, I'm dumb. But yeah, this lava lakes biome is actually fairly small considering for its, you know, intimidating size. It's just very much open, and this is all that there is to it. The second entrance, of course, is all the way over here. Would not recommend traversing across this place in a Seamoth, but for the sake that I only had the Seamoth already here, and that the Sea Dragon Leviathan doesn't try to attack me in the Seamoth, I was going to take my chances. So, like I said, the second entrance that there is that I never was able to find, somehow, even the amount of times I went into this place, reluctantly, is all the way following up this same pathway that obviously that it leads to, is straight to this little opening here, which look at that, it's right next to the sinkhole that I briefly mentioned, which would mean that I had every right to be afraid of a Sea Dragon Leviathan trying to attack me through there. And I saw... Okay, no, it was just the world not loading in. And, yeah, that's pretty much about it. That is both the inactive lava zone and the lava lakes. And all of its fun stuff that it has. What's it called? So, yeah, that's pretty much about it. Sadly, it's not super interesting, but regardless, it's just that. So, next thing there is to do is, of course, for next episode, we'll be exploring the primary containment facility, which is not necessarily a biome, but it's a whole can of worms all on its own that is needed. So, yeah, this can be a very, very interesting thing to happen. So, without further ado, thank you everyone for joining me in this grand adventure of Subnautica. Let's explore, and I hope you all enjoyed and learned something, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye.